Hello and welcome to this course. My name is Tony Anderson and I will be your professor this term. In this video, I will give you a tour of the course and I will tell you a little bit about myself. So let me tell you a bit about the basics of this course. I will tell you about how I handle announcements, the syllabus, the structure of the course, the delivery mode for the course, and I'll tell you where to go to find out what you need to do each week. I'll be posting announcements in Canvas at least once a week that provide you with important information and reminders. If you have not seen an announcement from me in your email box during week 1, please ensure that your Canvas settings are set to forward announcement notifications to your EOU email account, and make sure you check your EOU email often. Your syllabus is very important. Think of it as your guide to this class. In fact, your first weekly quiz is going to be about the syllabus, so make sure you read it closely. It is divided into 2 parts. You'll find a policies document, and that contains class rules, assignment descriptions, and grading policies. The second part of the syllabus is your course schedule, and that is a week-by-week breakdown of your assignments and due dates. This course is sequential, and your Canvas modules open according to date. At this time, I am not opening modules early, so please have patience if you like working ahead. Each week, I will include a page called Directions for Success. This page contains guidance on what you should do that week. The content of the Directions for Success page should coincide with the homework column of your schedule in the syllabus. Each week begins on a Monday in this class, and most graded items are due on Sunday nights at 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, or Pacific Daylight Time. I don't know what we're in right now. Once assigned, you get 7 days to complete most of your graded items. There are a few exceptions to that, such as your term project and discussion posts, in which you get more time. I do impose point penalties, so you need to know that, for missing due dates, as opposed to allowing you to take this course self-paced. I do that because I believe you're more likely to succeed if you stay on top of your work. And this also helps me to monitor how you are doing in the course so that I can reach out to you sooner than later if I see you struggling. I have Canvas set up currently to assign automatic zeros for missed items and automatic 10 points off per day for late items. For this week, I understand that we are all just now settling in to our new schedules. So, since we're just starting out in the quarter, do your best to get the things done that are due this Sunday done. I have them due this Sunday for a reason, that it is important for us to accomplish these things early on. So, if you get any zeros or late points this coming week, let me know and I will adjust it for you after the fact. You will need to reach out to me to let me know that it's happened, however, because it's hard for me to keep my eye on everyone's grades at all times, which is why I have this automatically set up to happen in Canvas. Here is an example of this week's Directions for Success instructions. You'll see essential tasks that are due this week and optional tasks. Some of the optional tasks each week are things that are going to be due in upcoming weeks. I I am currently running 2 sections of this course concurrently, so I have combined you into one Canvas shell. This has a couple of benefits. There are twice as many of you who can interact now in discussion forums. And those of you who are local to Eastern Oregon can now interact with classmates all over the country. We will be holding live virtual Zoom sessions every week. Check Canvas for the exact times and how to join. Students in the remote section are required to attend these Zoom sessions, and students in the online-only section can attend and are encouraged to attend, but attendance is optional. Everyone, however, is required to view the recordings if you can't attend a given session. I strongly encourage all of you to join us because it will help with the social isolation factor that a lot of us are feeling right now. And answers to a lot of your questions will probably be offered at these sessions. Also, these sessions work best when we have a decent number of people present. So here's a little more detail about that. What will we do in those Zoom sessions? What can you expect from them? They will not be lectures, I'm telling you that right now. Why is this? I will be providing you with separate video lectures. I want to use those Zoom sessions for more interactive meetings rather than my talking at you like would happen in a lecture, okay? So our Zoom sessions purpose will be twofold. 1, to connect, to engage with each other, and 2, for questions and answers. They will mostly be related to your assignments, in particular your term project, because that item typically gets a lot of questions, and that's okay. I will record any of these sessions in case you can't attend them. So now a little bit about me. Some students may care about this and some don't, which is totally fine. I just think it's a good idea to share a bit about oneself before starting into any working relationship, and that's what we have going into this quarter. It's a working relationship. And I know that for me, when I was in college, when I was in your shoes, I enjoyed the classes most where I could see a bit of humanity in the person who was teaching us. I enjoyed learning a bit more about my teachers because it helped me to understand where they were coming from and to put everything in context. It's always nice too when there is something that you can relate to in another person. Okay, first about my professional experience. I've been teaching since 2005 at several other universities. And also, some of you might be interested to know where I went to school myself. I got my PhD in media and culture from the University of Sunderland, which is in England, far north England, up near Scotland. I lived there for 4 years. Before that, I received my master's in media arts and my bachelor's in writing and linguistics from the University of North Texas, which is where I'm from. I'm from Texas. I also have a virtual instructor certification that I got from the University of West Georgia, which comes in handy in this case, teaching online. And I have certifications in digital media and web design from Collin College in Texas. I've also taught in corporate classrooms in the private sector, and I did so for more than 15 years, mostly at technology companies. The logos you see here are just a few of the more recognized companies that I worked for, but I worked for lots of smaller firms too. These professional jobs were communication focused, and they included things like human resources, employee training, technical writing, proposal writing, editing, digital media production, and instructional design. Much of this work was conducted with virtual teams of colleagues who were located all over the world. And we used Zoom in one case at my last corporate position. One of the reasons I told you all of that about myself is in hopes that we might have there might be something that you find that you have common ground with me in some way, but also my background has informed how I teach. So studies have shown that straight lectures have proven to be ineffective for adult learners. We learn by doing, by interacting and discussing and practicing skills, researching, looking for information. We also need motivation to learn. We need to know that what we are learning has an impact or a connection to our real life. So, in this class, you must read the textbook assignments that I have given to you to get the basic concepts and theories down. I won't be specifically teaching you those things. We may have occasional videos like this one where I give you a high-level view of something, but it won't be to the extent that you would be able to pass your reading quizzes or your exams from just looking at those videos. The activities that we do in this class will reinforce what you are learning in the textbook. So the discussion forum posts and responses you give to your classmates should get you to engage with those concepts and theories. There might be other activities as well, such as a worksheet and videos to watch during the week. So this is why, if you've ever had a face-to-face class with me, you'll remember I don't lecture very much. We spend our time doing activities and interacting with one another. I also strongly believe that the use of media like TV, film, etc. as examples and illustrations can be very beneficial for you as students in a class like this. Why is this? Isn't our private time filled with media? I mean, most of us consume it all the time to relax, to get our information about the world, and so forth. So it's easy for most of us to relate to examples and illustrations of our course concepts using that lens. We will watch at least one film this quarter, probably more than that, but I have one that I know of we're going to watch, and I will notify you when it is time to watch it. I may also provide occasional clips from other films and TV too to illustrate course concepts, and those will be available on YouTube. Okay, so here's a less serious fact about me. I love nature and I am an animal lover. These are my two cats that I rescued from a shelter. That is Sherlock on the right and Watson on the left. They are one half Russian blue and one half Maine Coon, if you know anything about cat breeds. I also love horses, but I've never owned one of my own. I do have virtual horses. I play Second Life. Yes, I know, Second Life. I am a major nerd, and that also means I'm old. Yes, Second Life is still going, for those of you who are wondering. In real life, though, I have taught horseback riding. I did that a lot in my younger days, including lessons delivered for something called equestrian therapy, which is not therapy for horses, it's therapy for people using horses. I am a firm believer in the power that any animal possesses to help us heal. I won't say too much about this here because it will come up again during my personal examples that I give you during appropriate topics in our class in the next few weeks. But I didn't have the happiest or safest upbringing myself, so animals were always a source of solace and comfort for me. A lot of my personal interests outside work have involved them and still involve them. So, with that difficult home life in childhood and the continued challenging relationship that I have with my family, I believe that's the main reason I am drawn to communication studies. I think I wanted and needed to understand why we don't get along, and I do believe a whole lot of our problem has to do with the inability to communicate effectively. So why was all of that relevant? It may have felt like a little bit of a tangent, but my personal history, my personal relationships are my motivation for being right here, right now with you teaching a communication class. So what's your motivation? You should also know that a class on communication is a dynamic thing. In other words, it takes the form that you make it as a participant. So no section of this course has ever been the same. I learn from my students, and sometimes student needs and experiences can cause a shift in the course dynamics and direction, and this is a good thing for you and for me. I would get so bored if courses were exactly the same every time I taught them. So that's it for now. If you have any questions, and I'm sure many of you do, that's totally normal, please, please, please post them in our Q&A discussion forum in the help module on Canvas, because it is likely that other people have the same question you do, and that way we tackle that issue all at once, okay? My office hours this term are all remote. Okay. Email is the best way to reach me. I am usually on it. Sometimes on the weekend it might be a little bit of a delay, but just know that I will get back to you as soon as I can. And if you want to have a one-on-one meeting with me, that will occur remotely, either via Zoom or phone. It's up to you. Just send me an email and we can set up a time. So I look forward to getting to know all of you, and I hope the coming weeks will be meaningful and fun for everyone. I will be in touch again soon.